What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Rochelle Leslie Har with Diva, and I am coming to you for our Diva Mommy Mondays. We are into week 29. This is crazy. Like 2 weeks, and I'll be down to single digits as far as how much time I have left. So at this point, I have a little less than 11 weeks officially left. Just depends on when Baby O decides to actually make his appearance, how much time I really have left. But it's kind of crazy. Today is November 24th. Forgot to say that. Thanksgiving is this week, so we're really excited about that. Food, family, going out to a cousin's house and kind of getting to see family I haven't seen in a while, family that hasn't really seen me since I've been pregnant. So debuting this 7 months pregnant body is going to be very interesting and a lot of fun. So this week has been so far so good. This is, of course, day 29 weeks and 2 days. So just kind of detailing some of the stuff from the end of week 28. I'm starting to get to the point where more and more people are not just saying I look pregnant, but more and more like, oh, like how long do you have left? And you know, for a while it was like, you don't look pregnant at all, or you barely look pregnant. Now it's like, oh, you look like you about to pop, or it's almost over, right? So that's just kind of changed. I'm definitely an all belly type of gal. I know they say that happens a lot of times with the first, especially. Your body has just not, is not used to everything that comes with that first, baby, or everything that comes with pregnancy the first time around. So hips haven't really spread, and all these other things that are going on. I'm just really all belly. As you guys know, like I've told you before, weight gain has not been a huge deal for me. Right now I'm staying solid at about having gained 8 pounds. They told me do not count the 6 pounds that you lost plus, because then I could say, yeah, I actually gained like 14 pounds. They're like, no, ma'am, that's not how this works. We go from the point at which you started and, whatever number that is before. We're doing net gain. So I've gained about 7 to 8 pounds. It really is all belly. It's mostly where it is. He moves around a lot. Space is starting to get a lot tighter in there for him, of course. So now I'm starting to get more and more elbows and knees. And he does these like serious, very odd, like popcorn rolls, I call them. Well, all of a sudden, like my whole belly just does like this. It's like a popcorn popper. And it's just like my whole stomach, especially after I eat, he does that. It's like he's energized, he's got food, and he's just like going crazy in there. So that's always interesting. He definitely responds to hubby's voice. Hubby likes to touch, feel. He's getting to see more and more of that. That's always exciting. Enjoying my hypnobirthing class. We just had our 4th class. We're going to take off for the Thanksgiving weekend, and then we come back in 2 weeks for our last one. So that's been really fun. That's kind of been a cool journey for these last 4 weeks, just going through and getting to know the other couples, and just seeing how everyone is progressing and seeing what's next in everyone's different experiences so far. I can truly say that I am blessed in the fact that most of the women are birthing at hospitals. I think all of them. I'm the only one birthing at a birth center, and I'm very excited about that because I think I have a lot more freedom to do a lot more of the stuff that we're learning, and a lot more of an ability to really have the type of birth that I want. So I'm very excited about that. It's just going to be so much fun. I'm oddly enough not very nervous, and I can be one of those people that gets nervous about the unknown. I think I've talked about that before. But I don't, like, the closer it gets, I'm not getting nervous about that stuff. I get nervous about other things, the finances, how are we going to do once I'm off work, and paying for things, and how expensive this baby's getting. But other than that, like, outside of those types of things, I'm not very nervous about anything in regard to the actual birth and what I'm going to go through. I think I'm allowing myself to just have peace about that and know that I made the decision that I think is going to be best, and because of that, I'm going to get the outcome that I want. So I'm very comfortable in that decision, and in so doing, I'm not worried at all. Honestly, I think about it, I'm like, of all the things, I think I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be screaming, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna be pain, I hate pain, I don't like being in pain, but I'm not really at all worried about that, and I'm very proud of myself for that. That's a huge accomplishment for someone like me who worries about everything. But I'm just kind of taking it as, you know, once I've prayed for the things that I want and I know what's going to happen according to what I've prayed for. So that's just how it is. I did like a whole little blog on pregnant faith, and I have faith in the methodologies that I'm learning. I have faith in the books that I'm reading, but more important, I have faith in my God that everything I've prayed for and everything that I've spoken into existence, in a sense, will actually come to pass. So I'm very, very comfortable and very much so at peace with the decisions I've made. So this week I decided I wanted to do a shorter video because we had a 15-minute long video last week with finance preparation. So I'm kind of splitting these next 2 weeks up. And it's going to be overall talking about basically making room for baby. So this week I'm going to detail kind of organizing and getting yourself ready, and then next week is going to be the actual nursery stuff. So I'm also following kind of along with what's going on in our lives. So this week was a lot of us preparing the room, this room, for nursery prep. So like I've said before, this room was kind of being used for a couple different things. Storage of clothes, mostly for me, my film room, it was a guest room. There's all kinds of things that were going on in here. But it still was the least used room in our house. So when it came to making a decision on where to put the nursery, this was the natural position, and this was the best spot that we could think of. So because of that, we had to move all of our other stuff, which had not been a priority of getting this room organized, but now it's a priority. So one of the things I definitely want to tell you is to try and find the best space that you can. Of course, everyone doesn't live in a huge house or anything like that, and maybe you have a smaller apartment or something like that. The room here is fairly nice sized. But still, you want to take into consideration the space that you have and kind of what you want to do. So because of that, the room is a fairly nice size, but the rest of our house overall, as far as organization space for just extra stuff, we don't have a lot in the way of closet space. So a lot that we're doing is just having to maneuver things around, put some stuff in the garage, and find very efficient ways to organize our spaces so that both me and my husband can have all of our stuff in our room, and any of the extras kind of be able to put them in different places in the house. So the biggest thing so far has been getting all of my stuff out of this room because it's mostly been my stuff. I've got lots of shoes, lots of clothes. Both of us have lots of clothes. I don't like saying I have lots of clothes because if you see our room, hubby's got most of the closet space and most of the drawer space in there. Advantages of having the house before we got married. But so yeah, so I have to kind of whittle down. So what I say is make sure that you're being considerate of the things that you truly need. So I need all of the shoes, so I'm going through and getting rid of them. I don't need all of the clothes, so I'm actually I've started an eBay store. I've been doing it with the help of my mom, and by help I mean she's pretty much running it for me. Thanks, mommy. And I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff that way. We're going through and kind of finding old stuff that we have and saying, hey, can this be given away? Give things away to shelters. That's one of my favorite things to do, is give things away to charitable organizations. It's very easy to do that, and it's helpful to someone else as well. Go to your Lowe's, go to the Container Store, find lots of like plastic and just very cool containers that you can put things in and keep them organized. We're going to be doing that with some of the stuff that we're putting in our garage. We've got lots of clothing, like my husband is Nigerian and we have lots of Nigerian garb that we wear for different family events. but it just takes up so much space, and we don't have closet space for it in the house. So we found these really cool plastic containers that allow us to see in there, choose what we want, but it still keeps the house clutter free. So that is, to me, what you want your ideal to be, is to try and keep not only the baby's room, whatever room you choose, clutter free, but most of the other rooms in your house. With a child, it's going to be lots of clutter anyway. You don't want to add on top of that with your own extra clutter. So you want to make sure that you're going through. We've been going through for the last few months, actually taking stuff down, getting through things, seeing where we can move stuff. And so now this weekend was the ultimate in get all this junk out of here and moved into some space that it works. So next weekend we can get to painting. So next week we'll talk a little bit more about actually how to set up your nursery. What are the key things that you need? What are some of the things that you don't need? I'm a YouTube person, as you can see. So I like going through YouTube videos and looking at other mamas and seeing what they've said are the things that they definitely need, definitely didn't need. And I'm going through and kind of trying to consolidate the things that I think are important here and what we're going to do with our space. One other thing, I definitely think, especially for furniture, try and reuse some pieces that you may already have. We have this huge dresser in here that's been in here because I was using it. But we thought it makes no sense to get rid of this very nice, very expensive dresser. So why don't we just repurpose it for the baby? So this is going to be our baby's room dresser. So we're going to have nice space in here for the baby. And then we're building around that with other furniture pieces. So I think that's another opportunity too, is just to be able to go and repurpose things. So look throughout, see what you can use, what you can't use, what it's time to get rid of, and make way for baby. Baby is definitely the most important thing and should have the space that it needs. You just gotta get rid of your stuff. So that's it. Next week, like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about the actual nursery do's and don'ts of what you should have in there. Oh my goodness, this video still is about 12.5 minutes. I didn't cut it by much. But if you have any questions, of course, let me know. I will definitely be posting a little more this week about kind of how I look, what the pictures are for this week, and how much baby O has gained. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a blessed week. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving.